Hi, Laura Lively here. Welcome to you and all of your parts. A question that I get asked quite often is, how many parts do I have anyway? And I got to tell you, I don't think anybody knows. I don't think anybody knows. I have heard so many different answers to this question. I've heard some people say, I only have 48 parts. And I was like, wow, I have 48 parts on a bad day, or maybe a good day. So I myself have identified over 150 parts. I want to let that land for a second and think and ask you, like, what comes up for you when I say that I have over 150 parts? Does it elicit curiosity? Does it elicit a sense of dread? Like, oh my God, how could anybody have that many parts? A sense of wonder that I know my system. Laura knows her system so well. So I'm just going to ask you, what comes up for you? And do you have this curiosity? How many parts do you have? So, you know, I know how I experience my parts, and I'm going to kind of share with you a little bit about that. So maybe it's helpful to you if this is a question you've had is like, how many do I have? Just because I've identified over 150 parts does not mean that I see them all daily or even weekly. And there was an analogy that I used a couple of years ago that I think still fits. Most people are familiar with the TV show Friends, I think, from back in the day. I don't even know when it was on anymore. But with the idea of Friends, there was a cast of characters. There was, I won't get them all, but like Rachel, Joey, Monica, etc., Phoebe, right? There was a cast of characters that we saw every week on that TV show. And I liken my parts to Friends because there's a cast of my characters that I see daily, weekly, right? There are some that I see all the time. And that's what I would call my central cast of parts, my central cast of characters. And then as Friends became more popular, well, actually, two things. There were also supporting characters we saw on Friends, like, gosh, I cannot think of the guy's name. The guy's ex-wife, Rachel's boyfriend's ex-wife. I cannot think of his name right now, but the ex-wife, the coffee barista that was in love with Jennifer Aniston's character, right? There was the chick with the voice that was on quite often, but not every week. And I have some parts like that. I don't see them every day. I don't see them every week, but I see them maybe every 2 or 3 weeks. And so to me, that's like a supporting cast of my parts that I see. And then as Friends became very popular, there were lots of other actors and stars that wanted to be celebrities that wanted to be on that show. And they came in. There were all sorts of celebrities that you saw them. They were like one and done characters. You saw them 1 week and then they were gone. I have parts like that too that will pop up. I'm able to see them, work with them. I don't see them again, but they were definitely a part that got activated by something. So that's kind of how I see my system. I don't know if that lands for you, and I'd actually invite you to let me know. But I have a regular cast of characters, like the cast of characters on Friends, like the Monicas and the Phoebes and Joey. I see them Chandler. I see them every week. I see them every day. I have some that I only see every now and then, but I do see them regularly, like Gunther, the barista that was in love with the Jennifer Aniston character. Rachel, that's her name. And then I see parts that are like one and done. I see them and then I don't see them again. So that's how I kind of think about my system. And I am curious, how does that land for you? Do you have similar parts that you see quite often, that you see occasionally? How do your parts show up in your system? So the other thing that I get when people are like, 150 parts, do I have to heal every single one of these? I found the answer is no. I've found that me just giving them, some of my triple A's, some of my acknowledging, accepting, and appreciating them gets them to calm and relax. And then I don't have to do anything further with them. So I don't think you have to, if you have a part panicking about, does Laura have to, do I have to heal 150 parts? I see you. I see that part that has a concern. Just notice it, accept it, let it know it's not alone. So I hope this has been helpful for you, this question of how many parts do I have? And I'd like you to drop me a comment at laura@lauralively.com and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the new weekly content. I would love to know how your system shows up for you. How many parts have you identified? How do you see them? Do you see them daily? Do you see them weekly? How do your parts show up for you? Bye for now. I will have more for you next week. For now, love to you and all of your parts.